Today, Harley Quinn teaches us just because you're one of the bad guys doesn't mean you're a bad person. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm CB Nostalgia, and today we're going to review the latest episode of Harley Quinn, episode 6, entitled The Line. But before we get started, make sure you get in on this month's giveaway. We're giving away a copy of Secret Wars. In order to get in on the giveaway, all you have to do is be a subscriber, hit like, and leave a comment. Well, another pretty interesting episode, and in this one we get to know Queen of Fables a whole lot better. Now before we dive in, I wanted to remind everybody this is a spoiler-rich recap, so if you're a fan of the show and you haven't seen it yet, I would click away and then come back after you've seen it. This week's episode opens with Harley Quinn hanging out with her new friend, the Queen of Fables. And as you remember, she was actually imprisoned by the Justice League in the tax code. As the episode unfolds, we find out that the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that her imprisonment is unconstitutional and that she will be freed from the book. Once freed by Santana, she's instantly thrown into chains and hauled off to jail. And Harley's having none of that. So what does Harley do? She rescues her, because that's the kind of friend Harley is. Plus, she needs somebody to help her steal a brand new cord weather controlling machine. That requires somebody who's really tiny. Queen of Fables can help her with that. Harley has no problem breaking the Queen of Fables out during her prison transport and takes her back to her lair. Obviously, the Queen of Fables is more than a little indebted to her and is more than happy to help Harley out with her plan. But to the rest of the team, it becomes pretty evident pretty fast that she's a different kind of evil. Ivy goes out of her way to get Harley to get rid of her, but Harley will have none of that. The first step to getting this weather machine is to break into Star Labs and steal a personal force field generator to protect them from the, and I quote, thousand-ish lasers. So Harley and crew, minus Ivy, head off to Cord Industries to steal the weather machine. Now the Queen of Fables uses her magic powers to conjure a really cool commando mouse, and everything seems to be going according to plan. That until they run into the Praxis family reunion. So to ensure these people stay distracted, the Queen of Fables stays behind while Harley and the rest of the team head inside to steal Star Labs' force field generator. The caper appears to go off without a hitch, and Harley and crew, along with Commando Mouse, return to the park to get the Queen of Fables, where they find a nightmare. The whole Praxis family has been slaughtered, and the Queen of Fables basically tells Harley they were witnesses and they're evil and those people had to go. Now this is obviously out of line with Harley's crew under normal situations, and clearly she doesn't really know what to do. The Queen of Fables asks everybody to make sure the bloodline is ended and there's no survivors, and scarily she summons the three little pigs to clean up the mess. An important note here is Harley did notice one survivor, and being the general good person she is, she didn't point it out. So there was a survivor. Once Harley and crew are back to the mall, it becomes really clear they need to part ways. And the Queen of Fables is not terribly happy about this. She does point out to Harley she shouldn't just let her go, but Harley does because that's the kind of person she is. Interestingly enough, they keep Commando Mouse and proceed over to Cord Industries to steal the weather machine. Commando Mouse makes his run at the weather machine and it doesn't work out very well. But fortunately for them, the force field generator works for Harley and they are able to steal the weather machine without further incident. Now once Harley and crew return to the mall, they find the Queen of Fables and the Big Bad Wolf waiting for them. The Queen of Fables is going to claim that weather control machine and she's going to kill Harley and the crew in order to do it. Just at that moment, there's an explosion and the one and only Jason Praxis appears. Yeah, if you have a deep dive of DC Comics knowledge, you recognize that Praxis found reunion. He's this massive telekinetic, and he wants revenge. Now, once he destroys the Queen of Fables book, the team is no match for him, and they take cover, and it's looking gloomy. He makes it really clear all he wants is the Queen of Fables, and Harley actually offers her up. When Jason Praxis tries to deliver the killing blow on the Queen of Fables, the force field generating machine onto her wrist when she wasn't looking. The explosion knocks the Queen of Fables back and Jason Praxis unconscious. At this point, the moral lesson of the episode starts, and Harley points out how being one of the bad guys does not make you a bad person, and selling out somebody like that would make her a bad person. The Queen of Fables reminds her that she should always kill her enemies, and takes leave. Well, not before finishing off the last member of the Praxis family. I mean, she's not going to make the same mistake twice. She's a supervillain. Now, one of the other subplots of this episode we really didn't dive into deeply was Poison Ivy and Kite Man. Now, Ivy and Kite Man have been dating for a little while, and it's not really something Ivy wants to publicly admit. As this episode unfolds, that becomes really apparent to Kite Man, and it crushes him. But before the episode ends, Ivy comes to terms with that she does really like him and enjoys being with him, and actually calls herself his girlfriend. I suppose for other people in the world, sometimes what everybody else thinks is more important than following your heart. Pretty sad state of existence, I suppose, but clearly, Ivy figures out her way here. Oh, and gets to meet his roommate Doug. All in all, I really enjoyed this episode. Hats off to Wanda Sykes' voice talent for this character. It was a lot of fun. Now, it was a more gory episode than many of the others were, but the fairy tale creatures being that way were a great surprise and made me laugh more than one time. I obviously still really love the show, and I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. I'm actually going to give this episode an 8 out of 10. It was pretty good, an improvement on the last 2 weeks, and I can't wait for the next episode to hit me. So what did you guys think of The Line? And since we know the Queen of Fables isn't gone yet, where do you think that takes us for the rest of the season? I can't wait to see. Sound off in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you press like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you won't get any updates. Peace.